We have spent the last couple of videos talking about the things that are happening all across the world, starting from UK and with gaming, with censorship, with Collective Shout, the Australian Karen group that is trying to basically ban fun on the internet, all the way to Visa and MasterCard censoring games and not allowing you to purchase games, also from UK's banning of content and banning everything without having an ID and proving who you are through ID and selfies. This moving to EU and United States and Mexico and Canada and pretty much all across the world. And now I think we're starting to see that there are actually things that are happening directly to people who don't follow in this mindset. Greetings, ladies and gents, my name is Hyozo, the bearded Balkan blabbermouth, and I am discussing, and today we're going to check out a few instances of things that are kinda worrying me because it's happening too fast, and I think it is starting to appear what's gonna happen to people who do not fall in line with the future plans of the United World Government, or whatever you wanna call it, plans to basically put us all on the spot and erase anonymity. We're going to start with what you probably already have seen. This is by the account The Arch, who is a YouTuber and on X, who said yesterday in the morning here that I was just randomly deplatformed from PayPal. No reason given other than unusual activities. Nonsense, of course, and I was redirected to a page telling me about the rules of card companies. Please make some noise about this if you can and spread the word. Below there, he's replying to Steering Craig with PayPal is helping themselves to about 15 grand at the moment. It was such a nice and easy way to pay artists, but no longer, I guess. Now, the Archcast is a pretty big YouTuber with over 111,000 subscribers. He has a very known presence, he has a huge following, and this is something that has happened to him right off the bat, without any warning. No suspension, no review of those 15 grand, nothing. And pretty much the response was immediate. A lot of people talked about it in the past almost 48 hours at this point. I have creators like Smash JT, like Madam Savvy, like a lot of people talked about this and made a lot of noise. And now we have an update on that situation. This is from about 18 hours ago, who says, the Archcast again, an update on the PayPal situation. I have now received 2 emails, one stating that my account was locked due to an error in the currency system, and another email confirming that my account is locked. Well, it's progress. Makes me lean more towards it's a fuck up idea. Yeah, about that. I don't know exactly what kind of a fuck up would constitute a deletion of an account while you're sending out a $15,000 or euro or any currency that is prominent away, and would basically just erase all of your existence there. Because I have worked in fintech, and I know that when you have a large transaction and you want to check the account or check the amount, you do the transaction on hold, and it is an automatic thing. You don't need to do it manually. The system just goes and holds the transaction, and then a human comes and actually just reviews the transactions. Now, potentially, I think you can close an account, you can terminate an account, you can cancel the transfer, whatever the person that is reviewing it does. However, to delete the account right off the bat without any further notice, without any email, without any notification or message towards the creator immediately to the account holder, that is something that's almost unheard of. And let me tell you, I know, because I've worked at such companies, and I can tell you that there are templates, there's a specific way of doing things in the finance world. Again, this might be a fuck up. However, this is all a little bit coincidental because you have creators that are standing up to those absurd rules and absurd censorship, and you have people that are connected to them, and you have a lot of people online that depend on PayPal, depend on the card system and on the payment processes to operate a lot of their online businesses, including YouTube, including every endeavor that they take on. It's very, very coincidental. I personally do not believe that this is just a fuck up, and if it turns out to be presented as a fuck up and his account is restored with all of his money, at least that would mean, in the worst case scenario, that they did try to delete his account and just punish him, but the noise made from people was high enough that they actually backed down, which would mean that our talking about it and raising awareness of every single one of these issues is actually working and is making these companies scared. Again, I'm not sure about any of those things. What is it? What the scenario is? Is it truly a fuck up? But I know one thing. If it comes to be that they really did try to fuck him up, us speaking is what probably spooked them. And that would just mean that in any case, we should continue doing that of every situation. Speaking of all situations, we have another creator who is called Sinhouse, who basically had their Patreon account that was deleted without notification. They're saying, I'm figuring out what happened. I'm literally crying right now. This was removed without any notification. That is what they're saying. This happened again yesterday in the afternoon in Eastern European time, and they have an update from an hour ago from Patreon that said, hi, thanks for submitting your appeal. Our team has received it and it will begin reviewing it shortly. You can expect to hear from us within 5 business days. In rare, more complex cases, our review may take up to 30 days. We appreciate your patience during this process. As patron safety is a top priority and we're committed to carefully reviewing each case. If you have any questions in the meantime, feel free to reply to this email. So yeah, in this case, like, yeah, 5 days, yeah, you sure, we're gonna take care of it, we're gonna take a look at it, and we'll come up with an answer. You may not like the answer, but it will be an answer, and it might take up to 30 days. So what are they gonna do in those 30 days? What are they gonna do during those 30 days? Patreon might be the source of their income. What's happening with that? If they do restore it, and is there gonna be any reimbursement? No, this is just, I think, in a way, a showcase of how they can fuck with you, how they can absolutely grab you by the metaphorical balls and absolutely twist them so you know who's controlling. Because sadly enough, we have to accept one of the current situations, and one of the current realities is that me as a YouTuber and every YouTuber and every content creator online, no matter in what field, you are dependent on either the payment processors, on companies like PayPal, companies like Visa, MasterCard for your funds. There isn't any cash transactions online anymore. It's all digital, and it's not decentralized with cryptocurrency and stuff like that, because cryptocurrency is not stable enough at this point. And the only thing that you can rely upon is the established currencies and the established payment processors that process them and provide them to you with fees and everything. And when those things start to fuck up immediately, especially after all of this outrage has begun to be more and more strong against censorship, against the payment processors, against all those game removals in the gaming community, and all those pushes to de-anonymize people and just make them all present like good lapdogs, their ID, their selfies, every bit of information. And now it seems that they're just going and saying, okay, let us just show you a snippet of how we can fuck with you. This is what I think, because I do not really believe in coincidences. I can believe in coincidence once, and then I can not believe in it twice, especially when it happens within like 10 hours of each other on different platforms. And if you don't believe me, this is from Pirate Nation. Change.org's remove petition against Collective Shout. Change.org has blocked, removed the petition to end Collective Shout censorship. This apparently happened 3 days ago. The page is currently under review, and it may be reviewed by the moderators who oversee compliance with community guidelines. The petition had more than 5,000 signatures, which means that by change.org standards, it's no longer a small petition. And it is a petition to stop collective shouts and their abhorrent practices to censor everything and to try to monopolize control over gaming and to be the sole entity that says what is allowed and not allowed on the internet. A bunch of 60-year-old Karens have that sort of power. And apparently it is something that has been talked about on Reddit. This is from the Pro Male collective shot petition taken on by feminist moderator at change.org allegedly. And I actually replied to this thread and I said the following: this is a reminder that these groups have their tentacles deep into pretty much everything, while shutting down the petition also reeks of them actually feeling threatened, which I do believe it is so, because otherwise why would you go against a petition of 5,000 people? It also showcases the power they possess. Every person who signed it gave their voice away with the intent of enacting change and exercising their freedom to speak up. It is effective silencing and censorship on the most fundamental level. And it is, because when you create a petition, you create it on a website that already enacts its own privacy policies, the community guidelines and stuff like that. So you're doing this, you're sending the petition to be signed, and then suddenly someone takes your voice away. It just goes, and you're like, nope, you're not going to do that anymore, which is absolutely terrifying to think about, because this is exactly what we're fighting against. These three instances that I just mentioned in this video happened within a couple of days of each other, which doesn't feel like a coincidence to me. Now, it might just be a big giant coincidence, but the probability of this is extremely low. If you have read Douglas Adams, there is a very huge difference between possibility and probability, and the probability of this is astronomically small. I think this is a showcase of what they can do to creators and to innocent people that are just trying to make a living on the internet, and they're just saying, okay, yeah, take a look. This is what might happen to you if you continue on this path. This is a spook tactic, in my opinion, and I'm afraid that it might work on a lot of people if something is not done and it's not changed immediately. But anyways, this is all I have for this video today. I want you to please tell me what you think of these topics below. If you believe that this is a coincidence, tell me why and tell me so. And if you believe that something is happening, if you have more information, if you want to share your opinion, please do that as well. Like and subscribe to the channel to support my journey as a content creator. And if you want to support homeless animals and animals in shelters and the channel to grow up, please click the join button and become a part of the DiscussThing Guild. Thank you very much. My name is Hiel, so this was DiscussThing, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers and stay fresh.